I have done 30 plus certifications and am here to guide you throughout your certification journey. In this video, we will be covering some important questions of the Microsoft DP-100 exam. You can find the complete PDF of this video and our practice questions through the link down in the description. To the important questions, Question 1. You have been tasked with designing a deep learning model which accommodates the most recent edition of Python to recognized language. You have to include a suitable deep learning framework in the DSVM. Which of the following actions should you take? Firstly, let's eliminate the incorrect options. We have A. You should consider including Rattle. Rattle is an R-based GUI for data mining, not a deep learning framework. Then we have C. You should consider including Theano. Theano is depreciated and no longer maintained, making it unsuitable for current deep learning tasks. Then we have D. You should consider including Chainer. Chainer is also depreciated and was absorbed into PyTorch, so it was not a recommended choice. As such, you should consider including TensorFlow. Thus, the correct option is B. TensorFlow is a widely used deep learning framework that supports the latest Python versions and is well suited for language recognition tasks. It is actively maintained and integrates seamlessly with modern deep learning workflows. Question 2. You construct a machine learning experiment via Azure Machine Learning Studio. You would like to split data into two separate datasets. Which of the following actions should you take? Firstly, let's eliminate the incorrect options. We have B. You should make use of the Group Categorical Values module. This module is used for grouping similar categorical values, not for splitting data. Then we have C. You should make use of the clip values module. This module is used to limit numerical values within a specified range, not for data splitting. Then we have D. You should make use of the group data into bins module. This module bins continuous data into discrete categories but does not split datasets. As such, based on the requirements, you should make use of the split data module. Thus, the correct option is A. The split data module in Azure Machine Learning Studio is specifically designed to divide a dataset into two parts, typically for training and testing purposes. It allows splitting based on percentage, stratified sampling, or other criteria. Question 3. You have been tasked with creating a new Azure pipeline via the Machine Learning Designer. You have to make sure that the pipeline trains a model using data in a CSV file that is published on a website. A dataset for the file for this file does not exist. Data from the CSV file must be ingested into the designer pipeline with the least amount of administrative effort as possible. Which of the following actions should you take? Firstly, let's eliminate the incorrect options. We have A. You should make use of the convert to TXT module. This module is used to convert data formats, not to ingest data from external sources. Then we have B. You should add the copy data object to the pipeline. This is an Azure Data Factory component, not a machine learning designer object. Then we have D. You should add the dataset object to the pipeline. Since a dataset does not already exist, this option is not suitable. Instead, you need to use import data to create one. As such, based on the requirements, you should add the import data object to the pipeline. Thus, the correct option is C. Both dataset and import dataset modules can do the job, but dataset module requires one to register the dataset first before using it in Designer, so violating the least admin efforts. Import data component is used to import data from data sources such as web URLs with minimum effort. Question 4. You need to consider the following segment to establish whether it is accurate. To transform a categorical value into a binary indicator, you should make use of the clean missing data module. Select no adjustment required if the given segment is accurate. If the underlined segment is inaccurate, select the accurate option. Firstly, let's eliminate the incorrect options. We have A, no adjustment required. It is incorrect because the clean missing data module is used for handling missing values, not categorical to binary transformation. Then we have C, apply SQL transformation. This module is used for executing SQL queries on datasets, not for categorical feature transformation. Then we have D, group categorical values. This module groups similar categorical values but does not convert them into binary indicators. As such, the accurate option is to convert to indicator values. Thus, the correct option is B. The Convert to Indicator Values module in Azure Machine Learning Studio is used to transform categorical features into binary indicators. This is the correct method for converting categorical data into a format suitable for machine learning models. Question 5. You need to consider the following segment to establish whether it is accurate. To improve the amount of low incidence cases in a dataset, you should make use of the Smooth module. Select no adjustment required if the given segment is accurate. If the given segment is inaccurate, select the accurate option. Firstly, let's eliminate the incorrect options. We have B, remove duplicate rows. This module eliminates duplicate data but does not increase low incidence cases. Then we have C, join data. This module combines datasets but does not generate new minority class samples. Then we have D, edit metadata. This module modifies dataset metadata but does not affect data distribution. As such, the accurate option is no adjustment required. Thus, the correct option is A. The Smooth module is used to increase the number of low incidence cases by generating synthetic data points. This helps address class imbalance in datasets, making the original statement correct. Question 6. You have recently concluded the construction of a binary classification machine learning model. You are currently assessing the model. You want to make use of a visualization that allows for precision to be used as the measurement for the assessment. Which of the following actions should you take? Firstly, let's eliminate the incorrect options. We have A. You should consider using Venn diagram visualization. It is not typically used for model evaluation, especially for precision measurement. Then we have B. You should consider using receiver operating characteristic curve visualization. It measures the trade-off between sensitivity and specificity, but does not directly show precision. Then we have C. You should consider using box plot visualization. It is used for visualizing data distribution, not classification performance. As such, based on our requirements, we should consider using the binary classification confusion matrix visualization. As such, based on our requirements, you should consider using the binary classification confusion matrix visualization. Thus, the correct option is D. The binary classification confusion matrix visualization provides precision as a measurable metric. It displays the counts of true positives, false positives, true negatives, and false negatives, allowing precision to be calculated as TP slash bracket on TP plus FP bracket off. Question 7. You want to train a classification model using data located in a CSV file. The classification model will be trained via the automated machine learning interface using the classification task type. You have been informed that only linear models need to be assessed by the automated machine learning. Which of the following actions should you take? Firstly, let's eliminate the incorrect options. We have B. You should enable automatic featureization. This improves feature engineering but does not restrict model selection to linear models. Then we have C, you should disable automatic featureization. This affects feature processing but does not ensure only linear models are used. Then we have D, you should set task type to forecasting. Forecasting is for time series predictions, not classification. As such, based on our requirements, you should disable deep learning. Thus, the correct option is A. Disabling deep learning ensures that only linear models are assessed during automated machine learning. Deep learning models like neural networks are not needed if only linear models are required. Question 8. You make use of Azure Machine Learning Studio to develop a linear regression model. You perform an experiment to assess various algorithms. Which of the following is an algorithm that reduces the variances between actual and predicted values? Firstly, let's eliminate the incorrect options. We have A. Fast forest quantile regression. It focuses on predicting quantiles rather than minimizing variance directly. Then we have B. Poisson regression. It is used for count data and does not aim to minimize variance in continuous target variables. Then we have C. Boosted decision tree regression. It uses ensemble learning and minimizes errors iteratively, but not specifically, by reducing variances in the same way as linear regression. As such, based on our requirements, we should use linear regression. Thus, the correct option is D. Linear regression minimizes the difference between actual and predicted values by reducing the sum of squared residuals. It is specifically designed to model the relationship between a dependent and one or more independent variables in a way that minimizes variance. Question 9. You are making use of the Azure Machine Learning Designer to construct an experiment. After dividing a dataset into training and testing sets, you configure the algorithm to be two-class boosted decision tree. You are preparing to ascertain the area under the curve. Which of the following is a sequential combination of the models required to achieve your goal? Firstly, let's eliminate the incorrect options. We have B. Score, evaluate, train. It has limited framework support, mainly designed for drag and drop model building, not suitable for large datasets and offline training. Then we have C. Evaluate, export data, train. It is best for big data analytics and distributed computing, but not designed for offline model training on personal devices. Then we have D. Train, score, export data. It is used for deploying and managing models at scale, but not a development environment for training and modifying pipelines offline. As such, based on our requirements, we should go with train, score, evaluate. Thus, the correct option is A. The correct sequence to calculate the area under the curve is first train the two-class boosted decision tree model using the training dataset. Then the second is score. Use the trained model to make predictions on the test dataset. Then we have evaluate. Compute evaluation metrics like AUC, accuracy, precision, and recall. Question 10. You plan to build a team data science environment. Data for training models in machine learning pipelines will be over 20 GB in size. You have the following requirements. Models must be built using Caffe2 or Cheddar frameworks. Data scientists must be able to use a data science environment to build the machine learning pipelines and train models on their personal devices in both connected and disconnected network environments. Personal devices must support updating machine learning pipelines when connected to a network. You need to select a data science environment. Which environment should you use? Firstly, let's eliminate the incorrect options. We have B. Azure Machine Learning Studio. It has limited framework support, mainly designed for drag and drop model building, not suitable for large datasets and offline training. Then we have C. Azure Databricks. It is best for big data analytics and distributed computing, but not designed for offline model training on personal devices. Then we have D. Azure Kubernetes Service. It is used for deploying and managing models at scale, but not a development environment for training and modifying pipelines offline. As such, the environment that we should use is Azure Machine Learning Service. Thus, the correct option is A. The DSVM is a customized VM image on Microsoft's Azure cloud built specifically for doing data science. Cafe2 and Chinner are supported by DSVM. DSVM integrates with Azure Machine Learning. Question 11. You are implementing a machine learning model to predict stock prices. The model uses a PostgreSQL database and requires GPU processing. You need to create a virtual machine that is pre-configured with the required tools. What should you do? Firstly, let's eliminate the incorrect options. We have A, create a DSVM Windows Edition. While DSVM includes machine learning tools, it is not optimized for deep learning with GPU acceleration. Then we have B, create a GeoAI DSVM Windows Edition. GeoDSVM is specialized for geospatial AI tasks, not stock price prediction. Then we have D, create a DLVM Windows Edition. Linux is generally the better choice than DLVM on Windows due to broader framework support and performance efficiency. As such, based on our requirements, we should create a deep learning virtual machine Linux edition. Thus, the correct option is C. Only Windows and Linux Ubuntu two options when talking about machine/deep learning VMs, unless very specific Microsoft/Windows products. Example, SQL Server. Otherwise, always select Linux Ubuntu as your answer. Question 12. You must store data in Azure Blob Storage to support Azure Machine Learning. You need to transfer the data into Azure Blob Storage. What are three possible ways to achieve the goal? Firstly, let's eliminate the incorrect options. We have A. Bulk insert SQL query. This is used for inserting data into SQL databases, not Azure Blob Storage. Then we have E. Bulk copy program. It is used to import/export data to and from SQL Server, not for transferring data to Azure Blob Storage. As such, the three possible ways to achieve the goal are AZ copy, Python script, and Azure Storage Explorer. Thus, the correct options are B, C, and D. The following three methods can be used to transfer data into Azure Blob Storage for Azure Machine Learning. B. Command line utility designed for efficiently copying data to and from Azure Blob Storage. C. Using the Azure SDK for Python, you can programmatically upload files to Azure Blob Storage. And D. A GUI tool that allows users to upload, download, and manage files in Azure Blob Storage. Question 13. You are moving a large dataset from Azure Machine Learning Studio to a Weka environment. You need to format the data for the Weka environment. Which module should you use? Firstly, let's eliminate the incorrect options. We have A. Convert to CSV. Weka can read CSV files but prefers ARFF, which includes metadata like attribute types. Then we have B. Convert to dataset. This does not change the format to ARFF, making it unsuitable for Weka. Then we have D. Convert to SVM Lite. SVM Lite is for support vector machine models, not Weka. As such, the module that we should use is convert to ARFF. Thus, the correct option is C. Use the Convert to ARFF module in Azure Machine Learning Studio to convert datasets and results in Azure Machine Learning to the attribute relation file format used by the Weka toolset. This format is known as ARFF. The ARFF data specification for Weka supports multiple machine learning tasks, including data preprocessing, classification, and feature selection. In this format, data is organized by entities and their attributes and is contained in a single text file. Question 14. You plan to use a DSVM with the open source deep learning frameworks Caffe2 and PyTorch. You need to select a pre-configured DSVM to support the frameworks. What should you create? Firstly, let's eliminate the incorrect options. We have A and D, DSVM for Windows 2012 and 2016. They are outdated and lack full support for modern deep learning frameworks. Then we have B, DSVM for Linux, CentOS. CentOS is not the primary OS for deep learning. Ubuntu has better support. Then we have C, GeoAI, DSVM with ArcGIS. It is designed for geospatial AI, not deep learning, with Caffe2/PyTorch. As such, we should create DSVM for Linux Ubuntu. Thus, the correct option is E. The DSVM for Linux Ubuntu is the best choice because it comes pre-configured with Caffe2 and PyTorch, both of which have better support and compatibility on Ubuntu. Most deep learning frameworks are optimized for Linux environments, making Ubuntu the preferred OS. Question 15. You are developing a data science workspace that uses an Azure machine learning service. You need to select a compute target to deploy the workspace. What should you use? Firstly, let's eliminate the incorrect options. We have A. Azure Data Lake Analytics. It is used for big data processing, not ML model deployment. Then we have B. Azure Databricks. It is primarily for big data analytics and ML training, not deployment. Then we have D. Apache Spark for HD Insight. It is designed for distributed data processing, not ML model deployment. As such, we should use Azure Container Service. Thus, the correct option is C. Azure Container Instances can be used as compute target for testing or development. Use for low-scale CPU-based workloads that require less than 48 GB of RAM. Question 16. You are solving a classification task. The dataset is imbalanced. You need to select an Azure Machine Learning Studio module to improve the classification accuracy. Which module should you use? Firstly, let's eliminate the incorrect options. We have A. Permutation feature importance. It measures feature importance but does not address class imbalance. Then we have B. Filter-based feature selection. It selects relevant features but does not balance the dataset. Then we have C. Fisher linear discriminant analysis. It is a dimensionality reduction technique not specifically for handling imbalanced data. As such, the module that we should use is synthetic minority oversampling technique or SMOT. Thus, the correct option is D. Use the SMOT module in Azure Machine Learning Studio to increase the number of underrepresented in a dataset used for machine learning. SMOT is a better way of increasing the number of rare cases than simply duplicating existing cases. You connect the SMOT module to a dataset that is imbalanced. There are many reasons why a dataset might be imbalanced. The category you are targeting might be very rare in the population, or the data might simply be difficult to collect. Typically, you use SMOT when the class you want to analyze is underrepresented. Question 17. You use Azure Machine Learning Studio to build a machine learning experiment. You need to divide data into two distinct datasets. Which module should you use? Firstly, let's eliminate the incorrect options. We have A. Assign data to clusters. It is used for clustering, not data partitioning. Then we have B. Load trained model. It loads a pre-trained model but does not divide data. Then we have D. Tune model hyperparameters. It optimizes model parameters but does not split datasets. As such, the module that we should use is partition and sample. Thus, the correct option is C. Partition and sample with the stratified split option outputs multiple datasets partitioned using the rules you specified. Question 18. You are creating a machine learning model. You have a dataset that contains null rows. You need to use the clean missing data module in Azure Machine Learning Studio to identify and resolve the null and missing data in the dataset. Which parameter should you use? Firstly, let's eliminate the incorrect options. We have A. Replace with mean. It fills missing values with the column mean, not removing rows. Then we have B. Remove entire columns. It removes columns instead of rows, which may result in loss of valuable data. Then we have D. Hot It is a different imputation method not available in Azure ML Studio. Then we have E. Custom substitution value. It replaces missing values with a specified value instead of removing rows. Then we have F. Replace with mode. It fills missing values with the most frequent value in the column. As such, the parameter that we should use is C. Remove entire row. Thus, the correct option is C. Remove entire row. It completely removes any row in the set that has one or more missing values. This is useful if the missing value can be considered randomly missing. Question 19. You are analyzing a dataset by using Azure Machine Learning Studio. You need to generate a statistical summary that contains the p-value and the unique count for each feature column. Which two modules can you use? Firstly, let's eliminate the incorrect options. We have A, computer linear correlation. It calculates correlation between numerical features but does not provide p-values or unique counts. Then we have B, export count table. It exports frequency counts of categorical data but does not provide a full statistical summary. Then we have D, convert to indicator values. It converts categorical data into binary indicators but does not generate statistics. As such, the two modules that we should use are execute Python script and summarize data. Thus, the correct options are C and E. To generate a statistical summary that includes p-values and unique counts for each feature column, you can use C, allows you to run custom Python code to compute p-values and unique counts using libraries like pandas and SciPy, and E provides statistical summaries including unique counts for categorical variables. Question 20. You are creating a new experiment in Azure Machine Learning Studio. You have a small dataset that has missing values in many columns. The data does not require the application of predictors for each column. You plan to use the clean missing data. You need to select a data cleaning method. Which method should you use? Firstly, let's eliminate the incorrect options. We have B, normalization. It standardizes numerical values but does not handle missing data. Then we have C, smooth. It is used for balancing imbalanced datasets, not for handling missing values. Then we have D, replace using mice. It uses multiple imputations with regression models, requiring predictors, which is not needed in this case. As such, the method that we should use is replace using probabilistic PCA. Thus, the correct option is A. Replace using probabilistic PCA. Compared to other options such as multiple imputation using chained equations, this option has the advantage of not requiring the application of predictors for each column. Instead, it approximates the covariance for the full dataset. Therefore, it might offer better performance for datasets that have missing values in many columns. Question 21. You use Azure Machine Learning Studio to build a machine learning experiment. You need to divide data into two distinct datasets. Which module should you use? Firstly, let's eliminate the incorrect options. We have B, load trained model. It loads a pre-trained model but does not split data. Then we have C, assign data to clusters. It is used for clustering, not for splitting datasets. Then we have D, group data into bins. It bins continuous values like discrete categories but does not split data. As such, the module that we should use is split data. Thus, the correct option is A. The split data module is specifically designed to divide a dataset into two distinct datasets, such as training and testing sets, which is a crucial step in machine learning experiments. Question 22. You are with a time series dataset in Azure Machine Learning Studio. You need to split your dataset into training and testing subsets by using the split data module. Which splitting mode should you use? Firstly, let's eliminate the incorrect options. We have A, recommended split. It is used for recommendation systems, not time series data. Then we have B, regular expression split. It splits data based on string patterns not relevant for time series. Then we have D, split rows with the randomized split parameters set to true. It is not a valid option for splitting time series data. As such, the splitting mode that we should use is C, relative expression split. Thus, the correct option is C, relative expression split. Use this option whenever you want to apply a condition to a number column. The number can be a date time, field, column that contains age or dollar amounts, or even a percentage. For example, you might want to divide your dataset based on the cost of the items, group people by age ranges, or separate data by a calendar date. Question 23. You use Azure Machine Learning to train a model based on a dataset named dataset 1. You define a dataset monitor and create a dataset named dataset2 that contains new data. You need to compare dataset 1 and dataset 2 by using the Azure Machine Learning SDK for Python. Which method of the data drift detector class should we use? Firstly, let's eliminate the incorrect options. We have A, run. It runs the D3 process for scheduled monitoring, not for direct comparison. Then we have B, get. It retrieves D3 results but does not perform the comparison. Then we have D, update. It updates the monitoring setup but does not compare datasets. As such, the method of the D3 class that we should use is backfill. Thus, the correct option is C. The backfill method of the D3 class in Azure Machine Learning SDK is used to compare a new dataset with an existing dataset to detect data drift. It allows you to analyze past data points and check for statistical differences between datasets. Question 24. You are profiling data by using Azure Machine Learning Studio. You need to detect columns with odd or missing values. Which statistic should you analyze? Firstly, let's eliminate the incorrect options. We have A, profile. It provides an overview of dataset statistics but does not specifically highlight missing or odd values. Then we have B, STD deviation. It measures data dispersion but does not detect missing values. Then we have D, type. It indicates data type but does not identify anomalies or missing values. As such, the statistic that we should analyze is error count. Thus, the correct option is C. To detect columns with odd or missing values, you should analyze the error count statistic. The error count metric provides information on the number of missing or null values present in each column. By analyzing this metric, you can identify columns that have a high number of missing or null values, which may indicate issues with the data quality or the data collection process. Additionally, you can also identify columns with odd or unexpected values that do not fit the data distribution or that have a high number of outliers. Question 25. You are building a recurrent neural network to perform a binary classification. The training loss, validation loss, training accuracy, and validation accuracy of each training epoch has been provided. You need to identify whether the classification model is overfitted. Which of the following is correct? Firstly, let's eliminate the incorrect options. About A, this suggests no learning is happening, not overfitting. Then we have C. This is a sign of stable, well generalized model, not overfitting. Then we have D. This indicates underfitting, where the model is not learning well. As such, the correct among these is that the training loss decreases while the validation loss increases when training the model. Thus, the correct option is B. An overfit model is one where performance on the train set is good and continues to improve, whereas performance on the validation set improves to a point and then begins to degrade. Question 26. You create a binary classification model by using Azure Machine Learning Studio. You must tune hyperparameters by performing a parameter sweep of the model. The parameter sweep must meet the following requirements. Iterate all possible combinations of hyperparameters, minimize computing resources required to perform the sweep. You need to perform a parameter sweep of the model. Which parameter sweep mode should you use? Firstly, let's eliminate the incorrect options. We have A, random sweep. It selects random hyperparameter combinations, not all possible ones. Then we have B, sweep clustering. It is not a recognized hyperparameter tuning method. Then we have D, random grid. It is similar to random sweep, does not try all combinations. Then we have E, random seed D. It is not a valid parameter sweep mode. As such, the parameter sweep mode that we should use is entire grid. Thus, the correct option is C. The entire grid mode systematically iterates through all possible combinations of hyperparameters, ensuring a thorough search of the parameter space. This guarantees that the best combination is found, satisfying the requirement to iterate all possible combinations of hyperparameters. Question 27. You need to select a feature extraction method. Which method should you use? Firstly, let's eliminate the incorrect options. We have A, mutual information. It measures the dependency between variables but does not extract features. Then we have B, Pearson's correlation. It measures linear relationships between variables but does not perform feature extraction. Then we have C, Spearman correlation. It measures rank-based relationships not used for feature extractions. As such, the method that we should use is Fisher linear discriminant analysis. Thus, the correct option is D. Feature extraction aims to reduce the dimensionality of data while preserving important information. Fisher LDA is a well-known feature extraction method that transforms data into a lower dimensional space by maximizing class separability. Question 28, you need to visually identify whether outliers exist in the age column and quantify the outliers before the outliers are removed. Which three Azure Machine Learning Studio modules should you use? Firstly, let's eliminate the incorrect options. We have D, replace discrete values. It is used for handling categorical values, not outlier detection. Then we have E, build counting transform. It counts occurrences of values but does not help in detecting outliers. As such, the three modules that we should use are create scatterplot, summarize data, and clip values. Thus, the correct options are A, B, and C. To visually identify and quantify outliers in the age column before removal, you need A. Helps visually inspect the distribution of values and spot outliers. B. Provides statistical insights to quantify outliers. And C. Allows setting thresholds to detect and handle outliers but does not remove them automatically. Question 29. You need to implement a feature engineering strategy for the crowd sentiment local models. What should you do? Firstly, let's eliminate the incorrect options. We have A. Apply an analysis of variance. It is useful for testing differences between means but does not extract features for classification. Then we have B. Apply a Pearson correlation coefficient. It measures a linear relationship but is not a feature extraction method. Then we have C. Apply a Spearman correlation coefficient. It measures rank based relationships, not feature selection or extraction. As such, we should apply a linear discriminant analysis. Thus, the correct option is D. LDA is a feature extraction and dimensionality reduction technique that finds the best linear combination of features to maximize class separability. Since crowd sentiment models involve classifying sentiment, LDA helps extract the most relevant features for better classification accuracy. Question 30. You have a model that contains tabular structured data. You must use a responsible AI dashboard to assess the model. You need to use the Azure Machine Learning Studio UI to generate the responsible AI dashboard. What should you do first? Firstly, let's eliminate the incorrect options. We have A. Convert the model from MLflow format to a custom format. It is not required as it supports MLflow models directly. Then we have C. Create the model explanations. Model explanations are part of the responsible AI dashboard process but come after registering the model. Then we have D. Deploy the model to a managed online endpoint. Deployment is not required just to generate the responsible AI dashboard. As such, we should first register the model with the workspace. Thus, the correct option is B. To generate a responsible AI dashboard in Azure Machine Learning Studio, the first step is to register the model with the workspace. This allows Azure to track and manage the model, making it available for further assessment, explanations, and monitoring. These were all the questions for this video. You can find the complete PDF of this video and our practice questions through the link down in the description. We will be publishing more parts to this series in the future, so please make sure to subscribe our channel and press the bell icon. Thank you for watching and stay tuned.